Today we are going to see fourth supplementary reader, The Midnight Visitor, written by Robert Arthur. And before going to see the story, first a glossary we will see. Musty. The meaning of this word is having a stale smell. Wherever we go, we feel in some places a strange, unpleasant smell is called a stale smell. Then wheezily with a hissing sound while breathing. The place is higher while walking. The person, if he is very fat or weak in his energy, will leave a noise called a hissing sound. Espionage, practice of spying to obtain information. Practice of spying, the meaning is gathering or collection information from somebody else and passing it to others. That is called espionage. Sloppy, careless and unsystematic. Prosaic, ordinary, unusual. Inflection, modulation, intonation. Sill, a slab of wood or stone at the foot of a window opening doorway. This is either near a window or near a door. Deftly, skillfully. And these are a few words what we find some new. In some stories we had come across like this type of words. And though just recalling, for that purpose it is written and remembering you. And we will say about Arthur next. Robert Arthur was born on 10th November 1909, Couriger Island, Cavite City in Philippines. He was born in Philippines as his father worked in military, in American military. The army was stationed at the Philippines and before the First World War began. As they rounded and worked in military, his father shifted places here and there, so with them his family also moved. In those periods he was born in Philippines. About the author was a writer of speculative fiction known for his work with the Mysterious Traveler radio series and for writing The Three Investigators, a series of young adult novels. Award for his work was honored twice by the Mystery Writers of America with an Edgar Award for Best Radio Drama. Then his American nationality, and in his story, The Three Investigators and Secret of Terror Castle, taken as movie. And for radio series, he was awarded Best Radio Drama. And these are his work. And then he died 2nd May 1969, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the United States of America. There are 4 characters in this story. Asabel, a secret agent, Fowler, reporter, Max, a criminal, Henry, a waiter. See the title, The Midnight Visitor. The time is midnight. Midnight, we all know that after 12 o'clock. That is very early morning. After 12 to 1 or 1:30, we may say midnight. A visitor is there at midnight. That is why the title is given The Midnight Visitor. Asabel, a secret agent, Fowler wanted to take some interview with this person Asabel, a reporter, collecting information for writing in his newspaper. Then Max, a criminal, was there, and then Henry, a waiter. And keeping these 4 characters, Arthur started his story. It is fiction, that is what secret agents working and extracting information from unknown people in an intelligent way for their nation purpose. And some people may steal those informations from the person who have collected from them. Here, the Asabel is a secret agent a very fat and short man. Of course, Fowler saw him and thinking in his mind that this person is not suitable to that post, but his appearance is very dull and sleepy. But how they selected him as a secret agent? That was the thinking in Fowler's mind. Then they were walking in, the story begins in a hotel, 6-story building in Paris. They walked in the corridor where a stale smell is, they can smell. Then the Fowler and Asabel reached their room. Their office is in the 6th floor in the building, that is the top floor. They reached there. Then in the meantime, Fowler was thinking about his physical appearance, which we are going to see elaborately how he thought. Then Max, the criminal, by talking with him, I think you have not expected me like this, that's my appearance and all. By saying this, he opened the room and they went inside and switched on the light. There they saw a person, the Max, criminal, inside the room. Then he had a pistol in his hand and it was pointed to those persons, a writer and a Asabel. And they closed the door and he blinked. Asabel blinked, the secret agent. And after blinking some time, he inquired, "What, Max? I thought that you were somewhere else. How you came here and in this midnight you are in my room?" Asabel asked. Then he told, "You have a secret file about a missile that will be reaching you today midnight. To getting that missile file informations, and I have come here to take away from you. If you open your mouth, I want to talk, my pistol will speak." He started so. Then in the meantime, the door was knocked sometimes with the gap. Fowler asked, "And who will be there outside the room?" "I asked her to come here, police, to need extra protection because the missile, regarding a missile, that file wanted to be kept secretly. And some people, by knowing this information, may come here and get that file. And that is why I told the police to come here for extra protection." Then, at the same time, he talked about a balcony which is outside the window. It's the Max entered inside. This is the second time in the same recent times, persons entering in my room without permission through the window. There is a balcony very close to the window. That's not this building's balcony. It is the adjacent building's balcony. They are coming through the balcony, entering inside the room. Then Max replied that, no, I have not come through the balcony. I got a key. I opened it and entered inside. I don't know whether there is a balcony or not near your window." They talked this. Then, after hearing the noise, Max told him, "I will be waiting there at the balcony. You say to the police and sending him after it is okay, none is disturbed, the file is will be reaching soon, and you wait outside. You say information so and ask him to wait out. I will be waiting there at balcony. After they are going, I will come, otherwise I will kill both of you." He threatened so. And then he jumped through the window to stand near the room and that balcony. And here what is happening, and we will see elaborately thereby going through the stories. Asabel did not fit any description of a secret agent Fowler had ever read. Following him down the musty corridor of the gloomy French hotel where Asabel had a room, Fowler felt let down. It was a small room on the 6th and the top floor, and scarcely a setting for a romantic adventure. Asabel was, for one thing, fat, very fat. And then there was his accent. Though he spoke French and German passably, he had never altogether lost the American accent he had brought to Paris from Boston 20 years ago. Asabel did not fit any description of a secret agent. Fowler thinks so. The reason was, when they were walking on the musty corridor of a French hotel, what was the reason? Here, he was very fat. The person was very fat. So, and then there was his accent. Though he spoke French, Asabel spoke French, he had come from America some 20 years ago. In his English, there is American accent, pronunciation. He had never altogether lost the American accent. He had brought to Paris from Boston 20 years ago. Boston is a city in America. He came from Boston, now he is in Paris. You are disappointed, Asabel said easily over his shoulder. Then you see, Asabel told Fowler, after seeing me, I think you are disappointed. The reason is his appearance. You are told that I was a secret agent, a spy, dealing in espionage and danger. See, facing all the danger in my life, though the person is very fat. You wished to meet me because you are a writer, young and romantic. You heard matter about me that I am very intelligent collecting information, and you have in your inner mind I would have been a very smart person, a lean, tall and very handsome person. You would have thought so. But for your thinking, I am contrast to that. Am I correct, Mr. Fowler? He asked so. You envisioned a mysterious figure in the night, the crack of pistols. Here the crack of pistol means a person who is very good at shooting. Drugs in the wine, like drugs in the wine, he is very good at his shooting. Instead, you have spent a dull evening in a French music hall with a sloppy fat man who, instead of having messages slipped into his hand by dark-eyed beauties, gets only a prosaic telephone call making an appointment in his room. He talks about when they were sitting in a ballroom and what was there reached, a news in his hand from a beautiful person. Gets only a prosaic. Prosaic means ordinary or useful message. You have been bored. The fat man chuckled to himself as he unlocked the door of his room and stood aside to let his frustrated guest enter. Then by talking this all in a hotel French corridor, and they reached their room and opened their room. As soon as they opened their room, allowed his guest inside, he closed the door. Here the meaning frustrated means unable follow or successful in a particular career. You are disillusioned, Asabel told him. Disillusioned, disappointed by seeing me. But take cheer, my young friend. Take joy. Even the persons like me, very fat, also can do work like this. Presently, you will see a paper, a quite important paper for which several men and women have risked their lives, come to me. You know, the paper which I had is about a missile, and several men risked to reach me that paper. Someday soon, that paper may well affect the course of history. It will change the history of the country. In that, thought is drama, is there not? It is like a drama, the thought is, isn't it? He asked so. As he spoke, Asabel closed the door behind him. Behind him, he closed the door, and as the light came on, Fowler had his first authentic thrill of the day. What is the meaning of authentic? A real, the true. Thrill and something unexpected. A day, for halfway across the room, just some distance, a small automatic pistol in his hand stood a man. There stood a man, in his hand there is an automatic pistol. Asabel blinked a few minutes. He rotated his eye this side and that side. Max, he wheezed. He talked. Max, you gave me quite a start, giving me a surprise, and before me you are in my room. I thought you were in Berlin. I heard about information you were there at Berlin. I have not expected you in the Paris. What are you doing here in my room? Can I know the work you are doing in my room? Max was slender. Slender means very thin, slim, thin and lean. A little less than tall, with features that suggested slightly crafty. Crafty, a person who has a cunning looking, is called a crafty person. Pointed countenance of a fox. His body appearance, that is features. That feature is like a fox. Fox eye. There was about him aside from the gun, nothing especially menacing. He is like a fox. What can be threatened, the pistol in his hand may be threatened. He may shoot at any time. He may be shooting us at any time. The report, he murmured. He silently spoke about the report. The report that is being brought to you tonight concerning some new missiles. I know the message, you are going to get a report about a missile, and tonight I thought I would take it from you. By killing you, I should take that missile file. It will be safer in my hands than in yours. Instead of it is with you, it will be very safer if it is in my hand. That is why I came here. He answered for Asabel's question. Asabel moved to an armchair and sat down heavily. He took seat. I am going to raise the devil with the management this time, and you can bet on it. He is blaming about the management of the hotel. He said grimly. Grimly means in a very serious manner. He said that this is the second time in a month that somebody has got into my room through the nuisance of a balcony. Because of the balcony near the window, this is the second time within the month the person came. Fowler's eyes went to the single window of the room. We know that Fowler's reporter was there. He saw near the window about balcony. It was an ordinary window against which the night was passing blackly. He could not see anything there as there was, it is midnight, very black. Balcony? Max said. The criminal said, balcony, with a rising inflection. That is, the intonation, the modulation is raised. No, a pass key, but I came here a key by opening your door, not through the balcony. I did not know about the balcony. It might have saved me some trouble had I known. If I had known already if there was a balcony, I would have come through in that. I did not know about it, so I came through pass key only. It belongs to it is not my balcony, Asabel said with extreme irritation. He was irritated much. That balcony was not mine. It belongs to the next apartment. There was a building. In that building, they extended their balcony near to this building. He glanced explanatorily at Fowler. You see, he said, this room used to be part of a large unit, and the next room through that door there used to be the living room. He talked about that room. It had the balcony which extends under my window now. That balcony is extending near my window. You can get on to it from the empty room 2 doors down, and somebody did last month. And we can come by catching that window frame and climbing on it and jumping into the room. Again we can go, the meaning is from the room. The management promised to block it off. Yes, last time I told them they should block it, but they did not. But they haven't. Max glanced at Fowler, who was standing stiffly not far from Asabel, and waved the gun with a commanding gesture. Then the person Max was in commanding gesture, pointing towards them the pistol. Please sit down, he said. We have to wait half an hour, I think. 31 minutes, Asabel said moodily. Moodily means in a way that shows you become anger or annoying easily from others' words. How many minutes or more? 31 minutes, you cannot stand, you sit. The appointment was for 12:30. They are going to bring me the missile file at exactly 12:30. I wish I knew how you learned about the report, Max. He asked. About this report, how you got information? The little smiled evilly. Evilly means morally bad, very bad way. And we wish we knew how your people got the report. But no harm has been done. I will get it back tonight. You see, your people, they got it. Then I am not going to take any risk at all, but I am going to get tonight. What's that? Who is at the door? Father jumped at the sudden knocking at the door. Then there was knocking sound outside the door, that is room. And what's that? Father inquired. Asabel just smiled. That will be the police, he said. I have given information to police. It should be police. I thought that such an important paper as the one we are waiting for should have a little extra protection. And some people may come and steal that. That's why I told police station. I told them to check on me to make sure everything was all right. Whether my room is safe or any criminal is coming towards my room, I asked them to come and see. Max bit his lip nervously. The criminal got some nervousness. The knocking was repeated. What will you do now, Max? Asabel asked. Asabel asked him, what are you going to do, Max? The knocking is continuing. If you do not answer the door, they will enter anyway. Because the door is not locked. The door is unlocked. And they will not hesitate to shoot. After seeing a stranger inside, they may shoot you. Max's face was black with anger as he backed swiftly towards the window. He went very near the window by walking back. He swung a leg over the sill, the slab side. He swung his leg, then sent them away. And one leg was sent the other side of the window. He warned same time, I will wait on the balcony. Send them away or I will shoot and take my chances. I will be hiding and my pistol towards on your both. By speaking with the police, you send them. Otherwise, I will kill both of you. The knocking at the door became louder and a voice was raised. And the voice was also raised, knocking was continuous. Then keeping his body twisted so that his gun still covered the fat man and his guest. Facing towards the gun, the fat man, Asabel and the guest Fowler, he jumped that side. The man at the window crouched the frame with his free hand to support himself. And catching the free hand, and he took the next leg also that side. Then he swung his other leg up and over the window sill. The doorknob turned. Then swiftly Max pushed with his left hand to free himself from the sill and dropped to the balcony. By leaving his hand, he went to the balcony, and then as he dropped, when he was dropping, he screamed once surely. A screamed sound came. The door opened and a waiter stood there with a tray, a bottle and 2 glasses. Then the door opened. The waiter Henry came inside, and with him a tray was there. In the tray, a bottle and 2 glasses. Here is the drink you ordered when you returned. Henry said, here is the drink. He says to the Asabel, he said, and set the tray on the table. He kept the tray on the table, keeping that wine bottle and also tumbler. Deftly uncorked the bottle and left the room. Then skillfully he opened the wine bottle and kept in the tray. Then he vacated the place. But he stammered the police. Police? There was no police. Father asked him. Father asked Asabel, you told that the knocking sound is made by police, but instead of police, there comes a person waiter. Only Henry, whom I was expecting. I know that the outside the door was only Henry waiter. But I would that man out on that balcony. The balcony, he was waiting outside. He may shoot at us any time. Father began. No, said Asabel. It was not so. He won't return. He will not return. You see, my young friend, there is no balcony. He would have fallen down from the 6th floor. Not you heard the screamed shrilly sound. He would have died, falling from the 6th floor. And from this story, what we learned, by seeing a person's appearance, we cannot come to a conclusion that whether he is intelligent or he is dull. Appearance are often deceptive. You see, the person, the presence of mind made him think about that window, and he imagined and he told a false story. There was a balcony. Max can wait because he know that the waiter would be coming with the wine bottle. In foreign countries, if any two persons meets together, they may enjoy with wine, as they were all living in polar region to heat their body warm. But like in India, if any two meets, we drink coffee, tea. It is so. He ordered wine and he came to his 6th floor. Then there it reached, only waiter Henry came there, not any police at all. So the presence of mind narrated a false story about a balcony where there is not at all, and killed the person who came to shoot him. So a secret agent need only intelligent, not physical appearance. What the author, Robert Arthur, comes to say as is the intelligent. So presence of mind is essential to a person. Appearance are often deceptive. Thank you, student.